All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us on tonight's team call. Obviously, if you're on, we're on a little bit of a different time. So if any of your coaches that we're supposed to or usually are on, maybe just send them a quick message letting them know that we're just starting a half hour early for tonight. Some announcements. I think a few of you have already seen Autumn made her announcement about what is she calling it? Control Freak Off the Wall. So February 8th is when these newer workouts will come out. So if somebody's kind of giving you the objection of, well, I can't use the control track, or I don't know where to put it, or I don't have a door, I don't want to put it in my wall, this will be a great option for people that don't want to use a control track. Personally, I think if you want to use it, you can figure it out and find a way. But hey, now we have an option. So I think that's really awesome. That's going to be coming out February 8th. February Team Cup. I don't know if you guys talked about it on last week's team call, but I see a bunch of you already hopping on board and getting your teams ready. So really quickly, if you're a brand new coach or you've never done Team Cup before, Team Cup is where you get a group of 5 coaches. Doesn't have to be coaches from our team. More than likely it will be, but it doesn't have to be. And that month of February, you and your 5 coaches on your team will work together to earn as many Success Club points. There's also points given for rank advancements, and if your coaches rank advance, and there might be one other one, I don't remember. But if you work really hard and help people, you'll get points. So 5 coaches on a team, I believe it's 1 lifetime diamond and then 1 star diamond. I could be wrong. Um, Ashley, you were shaking your head. Do you know the limit?
Two diamonds, one. Yeah.
One.
I think it's 2 diamonds or 1 star diamond.
Okay, we'll go with that one.
I think.
Yeah,
And
you
the
could use
other-
like
You could
one
definitely have 2
lifetime.
diamonds. You could definitely have 2 diamonds.
Okay, cool. And then if you don't have a diamond, that's okay. You could all just be coaches, or you could all be emerald coaches, or some coaches, some emerald, some ruby. It doesn't matter. Just get on a team, work with each other. We'll be probably like next week. I think we have another team call planned, but in the team page, we'll kind of talk more, and corporate will give out more on how to kind of work with your team, what to do with them. Because isn't every month you're supposed to be working your best, right? And trying to help as many people as possible. So we'll dive into that more on the team page, but just know that anybody can join Team Cup. If you're looking for a team, go look into our team page. I know I saw a bunch of people looking for teams today, and you could just hop right in for February. January is double trip dollars. So if you get Success Club 10, you'll technically get the dollars for Success Club 20. So 20 times 10. So you get like $200 if you earn Success Club 10, and your dollars are doubled. And I just see, I'm looking at the Coach Online office. There's a Beachbody On Demand price increase starting. Well, it said it already started. So the 3-month plan is increasing from $39 to $59. And the 6-month plan is increasing from $59 to $77. And the annual plan will remain the same at $99. So that's more of like a duh, like just get the whole year instead of paying for a 3-month plan or the 6-month plan. And that's going to actually help when people are renewing. So if you see in your Coach Online office, somebody has a 3-month renewal. This is starting February 1st. So starting February 1st, those increases are going to happen. Let those people know. Say, hey, by the way, your 3-month subscription is increasing. Your best bet to get the most bang for your buck would be a challenge pack. If they don't want to do a challenge pack, then have them get the year. It's just going to be more cost effective for them. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind for February Team Cup, right? Have some strategic plans in place. So I'm going to shoot it over to Lisa Hanson. Most of you do know her, but for those of you that don't, she is our upline coach. She's been a coach for, oh, sorry, Lisa, 10, 11 years. She's freaking amazing and she helps out so many of us with just our mindset, getting over our fears and overcoming our limiting beliefs. And she's going to share her top two secret. I really don't think they're going to be too secret because I'm sure she told all of us them already, but I know it's going to be an awesome, awesome call. So get out your paper and pen. Lisa, thanks so much for hopping on.
Hey, thank you. I know I almost changed it to tips, my top two tips, because I'm like, I don't know, we'll see. So hey everyone, so happy to be here. Little fun fact, since we're talking about Team Cup, I was on the very first Team Cup when they first came up with the concept, and my team won second place in the company, and we were so excited. Got a really amazing prize for that whole package. So that was really fun. Sometimes I forget about all that. So I have been a coach for a little over 10 years. And for those that don't know me, if this was a call about the power of your story, which I have done many calls on that, then I would tell you every detail of my story because it is kind of quite long. But I'm going to just really super condense it because we don't need to hear all of it. So I was a holistic health practitioner. I was working at a center. I had a friend who kept giving me packets of Shakeology. I kept shoving them in a drawer and shutting the drawer. And I was kind of just like a snob about the whole powdered thing, getting a shake out of a packaged powdered thing, being a holistic health practitioner. And fast forward about a year, I think he never gave up on me. My upline is Bob Lucido, and he never gave up on me. And I had a baby. I was a single mother, and I had some health complications. I was on bed rest. I had preeclampsia. I was in the hospital for a long time. My baby was in the NICU. And after that, when you work for yourself, it's great. I worked for myself for 26 years. I was 30 years old when I said, I want to be my own boss. I want to make my own hours. I want to start work at 10 a.m. Like I knew where I was headed. When you work in that field, if you don't show up, you don't get paid. And so I was in the hospital for a long time and I lost a lot of my clients and ended up with over $50,000 in debt, moving back home with my parents at the age of 40, when I hadn't lived home since I was 18. And I was 225 pounds and I just was struggling. So I went actually to a meditation retreat and I had a very clear vision come in that I was supposed to be doing Shakeology and I was supposed to be doing the business. And my prayer at the meditation retreat was by that time, my daughter was 3. And I said, I need to be a better role model. I need to get my health in back. I need to get out of my parents' house and I need to make money. And so enter Beachbody. I came out of the gates running. I hit diamond in 30 days and I just kept going. And right before that happened, I went to the doctor's office with my baby and she gave me food stamps and she told me I was eligible for a welfare. And as I was standing in line with my food stamps, I just said, no way, this is not my life. This is not where I'm headed. God bless that system and how many women that helps. I, bow down to it because has helped so many people, but I just knew it wasn't for me. And I kind of knew that if I headed down that path, I would adopt that mindset. And so I said, nope, I'm going to do the business. I'm going to go all in. I was 1-star diamond by the end of the first year, 2-star by the end of the second year, and got up to 5-star. I went from being really broke to being in the millionaire club. and I've been making multiple six figures, and I'm about $1,000 away from 2 million in the business. And I just checked the online office and I was like, whoa. So that to say that this has changed my life is an understatement. This has completely 100% turned my life around. I lost almost 100 pounds. I reversed pre-diabetes. I went off blood pressure medicine. My daughter's 14 now. She's been to private schools. I paid off all my debt. So, and passive income. So it's quite amazing. That was a shortened version, believe it or not. But so today I am going to talk to you about my 2 top tips. And I actually made a slideshow. It's my first time. So just bear with me. Okay. So you guys can see that? Can you see my screen? Okay, awesome. Okay, good. So let's get rolling. Okay, I just want to say too that I'm also a life coach. I became certified as a life coach about a year ago, and been doing a lot of work. I've been on a spiritual path for about 20 years, do a lot of yoga and meditation retreats, and I've been working on my mindset for that long a time too. Working on your mindset is a daily basis. It never goes away. There's no cure for being human. We are going to have 50% of our thoughts be positive, 50% be negative. That's just the way we are. Duality, that's the way that we're made. So I don't want you to think that there's ever an end game. You know, they call us the human race, but there's no race to get to the end. There's no cure for not having the thoughts that come into our head. But we have the power to be able to look at them and change them. So my top 2 secrets to success. One, I'll move myself. The magic equation for all entrepreneurs. So I was really blessed to take a 100K mastermind through the school that I went to, and it was taught by an amazing entrepreneur who has earned millions of dollars, and this is her magic equation, for entrepreneurs. The number of offers that you make, and in our business, it would be called invites, minus the number of no's that you get equals the number of yeses that you will get. And I summarized it down at the bottom. That is the magic equation for any entrepreneur that you are in, whatever kind of business it is. What we need to do is learn to expect and accept the increase in no's as part of the equation of success. We need to constantly be increasing all components of the equation, because when you increase the number of invites that you do, you have to expect that you're going to also increase the number of no's that you're going to get in order to get the number of yeses that you get. So the good news is that if you know that, and you know that going in, and you expect it to happen, and you accept it as part of the equation, then you can just keep going, even when you do get the no's. We must constantly evaluate the equation and revise it along the way. And with this equation, the key to it is you have to have the right invite to the right audience. That's the key to figuring this out. Most people will be thinking that they did something wrong if they got a no. All that it means is that you're actually doing something right, because it means that you're putting yourself out there and you're taking those risks, and you're actually inviting people. You're having conversations with people. You're sending them private messages. If you're not getting any no's, it means that you're not doing any invites. And just to be clear, what I mean by invite is specifically asking someone, do you want to join my group? Do you want to be a coach? It's being very specific. Okay, so let's talk about the perfect offer if we're looking at that equation. The perfect offer would be selling water to a thirsty person who has money. So as you can see, your invite has to be something that people are thirsty for and hungry for, and they need it in their life. That is how compelling you need to make your offers and your invites. So make it fun, make it irresistible, and make it full of value. When you're inviting someone either to a challenge group or to try Shakeology or to join the business, you have to get really good at painting a vision of what you're inviting them to. You have to make it seem like it's you guys are having the best time, that it's so irresistible that they want it no matter what. And they have to know that the value that they're getting. So if you're not good at communicating that, then you just look at that and you say, that is an area that I have to get really good at perfecting. And then you can, there's so many books out there that you can get. Ask for More is an excellent book. The Art of Closing the Sale. There's so many books out there that teach us the right language to use with people when we're trying to make them an offer. And so, let me just see this, sorry. I don't know where to put the people. Okay. When you have the right invite, woo, I don't know what's happening. Okay, sorry. All right, so Rose, how do I get, no, never mind. Okay. How do I get rid of the bar? Okay, I can
At
move
the
it now.
bottom,
Yeah, I got it.
you
Finally, I
you
got
can
it.
just like use your arrows to go forward.
No, the Zoom box
Oh, you
was in the
can.
way. No, you can't. Okay, I
Yeah.
finally condensed it and moved it to the side. Okay, so do, 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 do. So when you have the right invite to the right audience, you have unlimited potential. So what are we selling? What is our water? What are we offering? What are we inviting to? Most important thing is always going to be you. Has to be you. Why? Because there's over 40,000 coaches. Why would they buy from you as opposed to someone else or just going to the website or calling on the infomercial? It has to be you, what you're going to give them. What value are you offering? How are you going to over deliver? How are you going to help them? You're also selling the support that you that are provided in your challenge groups. And if you're co-running with another coach, add that in. That's more value that people are getting. We're offering the full package for success. We're offering a complete nutrition shake, a fitness program, and a nutrition program or a guide or a portion control fix, whatever it is. We're also offering the amazing life-changing business opportunity. If that's an area that you're not comfortable talking about, that's where you need to focus. Get really good at talking about it. Talk about it all the time. Lead with it whenever you talk with someone. And I remember when I first started, that was one of the things that we did in a mastermind group is we had to do like a 30-second commercial, a 30-second talking about what we have to offer. And, so the more you practice talking about it, the better you'll get at it. Okay, do everything, every single post, every single reaching out, everything that you do, even if it's not about Beachbody, do everything with intention. You are not offering coaching to people who don't have money. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to practice being okay with the fact that these are not your people. They are not the right person. Remember, we're not looking for people who are thirsty to give them free water. We're looking to sell them a bottled water and they have money and they're so thirsty they want to buy it, right? So you got to make your offer so compelling that they're like, yes, I want it. And I talked to so many coaches over the last decade that are saying, well, I just want to help people. And, and then people say they don't have the money. And, my answer to that is that they're not your people and you have to be okay with that. And let's face it, we're all loving, caring, heart-centered people. And the way that this team is built, that's how everyone is. So I get it. I totally get it. I mean, there's so many times when I would have, just giving my stuff away for free. But if you you give little snippets away for free, but you have to just practice being okay with the fact that they're not your people. You are looking for people with money. You are looking for people who will buy it. You know why? Because the value that they get from it is incredible, and you're over delivering that they want to pay for it. They're like, yeah, sign me up. Okay, so who is your right audience? It's people who want it, they need it, they crave it, they have the money to pay for it, and then in return they get incredible value from it. Okay, so why do you get the no's? If you're getting no's, and you're not getting any yeses, like if your equation is I'm doing these invites, let's say you're doing 20 invites and you get 20 no's and you have 0 yeses. You either have the wrong invite or you have the wrong audience. You're talking to the wrong person. How do you know if you have the right invite and the right audience? You will start getting the yeses. Oh, that's gonna come back. Okay, so did you see that? That was for Lisa, but I don't think she's on. Okay, so with the equation, going back to the equation. Okay, the number of invites minus your number of no's equal your number of yeses. If you're not getting the yeses, you have to figure this out. You have to treat this like a business. You are a business person now. You own a business. So have a business plan and take a look at it and say, okay, I sent out 20 invites. I got 20 no's. So that means I didn't get any yeses. What's going on? And you just have to figure it out. You can ask your upline, your success partner, you can ask the team. But what you want to do is you want to figure out which one to change first. You don't want to change the way you invite and your audience at the same time. You either want to change one, you just want to change one at a time. So let's just say, all right, I'm pretty confident in the way that I'm inviting and talking to people, and I really like the way I'm doing my post. I'm going to just find a different audience. Now, if you've been posting every single day and talking to the same people over and over again, and they're not saying yes, you need a new audience. You need to get your offer in front of more people or different people. So try different hashtags, try doing some reels, try doing increasing your friend requests, try going to find people. You have to get your offer in front of different people. And you have to find those people. And then if the equation starts working, then you know you found the right people. Or you could do it the other way. You can say, okay, well, I think I have a good audience and I think I have a good following and I'm getting it in front of the right people. It must be my inviting. So now I'm going to try different ways to invite. I'm going to change the how often I do it, or how many people I contact, or what I say when I message them. Okay, so this was for Lisa, but she's not here. Pause for the gangster rap. If you saw the post, you know what that means. So I'm gonna put it back on. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bring up Zoom, I guess. All right, I'm gonna just say, if anyone has any questions about the entrepreneur equation, just unmute yourself or put it in the chat. And then Rose, let me know if there's anyone in the chat. We good?
Yeah, nothing yet. Anyone, any questions?
It's pretty straightforward. Okay.
Jessica
But
said she loves it.
Thank you, Jessica. Jessica's one of my #1 fans. So what's number 2? You might be wondering, what's Lisa's tip number 2? It might not be what you think, to tell you the truth. It's feelings. You thought I was going to say thoughts, didn't you? So when you get a no or a failure in this business, the worst thing that can happen is a feeling. Think about it. Someone says no. The worst thing that can happen is you feel a certain way, right? When you get a no, what do you make it mean? Or how do you feel when someone cancels? What do you make that mean? Do you avoid the no's because it makes you feel like complete shit? And if it does, do you hide? Don't put yourself out there anymore. Stop taking risks. Start saying things like it's too hard or I'm not as good as she is. What do you make it mean when you get those no's? If you're like most people, you're going to feel these things. Discomfort is the currency of growth, just the way it is. Spiritual growth, growth as an entrepreneur, growth as a parent, a wife, any type of growth. Discomfort is the currency of growth. Have you ever had like a really uncomfortable fight with your husband, but then afterwards you had like this amazing talk and then you guys felt closer afterwards? It was really super uncomfortable, but you love your husband and you want the marriage to work out and you're willing to go with it. But when you master being able to feel any feeling, you will have so much success. I'm telling you guys, this is like a major key. So you have to ask yourself, how do you handle feeling scared, deflated, competitive, unsure, rejected, judged, disappointed, let down, ridiculed, discouraged, inadequate, jealous, unworthy? You know, none of us like to feel that way, but if we get really good at saying, I know that the worst thing that can happen is I feel a certain way, and I'm just going to feel it, and I'm not going to be afraid of it, and I'm not going to avoid it or hide from it or eat it away or Netflix it away. I'm not going to be afraid of it. Then you can do anything, and you'll just keep going because you know that you can send out 20 invites and get 20 no's. You know how to handle feeling disappointed. And when you know that you can handle feeling scared, that you're so scared to send out 20 invites, but you can handle feeling scared, because what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to feel a little tense in your body. Maybe your jaw will tense up a little bit, or you'll get a little headache, or you'll just be spinning for a little bit, walking around the kitchen, not sure what to do with yourself. And then it passes. You know, it's so funny, like, as humans, we avoid discomfort like the plague, right? We just don't want to go there willingly, but discomfort is the currency of growth. Just want to point out, I put fraudulent on here. I hear that a lot. I've actually gone through that myself. There's been times in the last 10 years where I've gained anywhere from 5 up to 20 pounds. And I felt like a complete fraud as a coach. And I was afraid of putting myself out there because I had gained, I wasn't thinking about the 70 pounds that I had lost. I was thinking about the 20 that I had gained back. I mean, I lost 90, gained back 20 at one point, and my brain just wanted to focus on that. And so I felt like a fraud. And so I had to get really comfortable with, okay, so I feel like a fraud. Am I going to let that stop me? And the answer was no. According to the entrepreneur equation, you cannot skip an increase in the no's. You just can't. It's just not the way it works. And this is from top leaders. This is not just from Beachbody. This is a real equation. You cannot get discouraged by the no's. You want people to say no to you, because that will increase the number of yeses that you will get, and you will end up getting. Sorry, a little technical. Okay. When you avoid the no's, you will decrease your yeses. And this is sad. Yes, it is. What happens most of the time is, let me go back. What happens most of the time when I work with coaches on this team and my other teams is you get the no, or you get to diamond and everyone cancels, or you get to 1 star and then that diamond drops and then you're back to diamond, or you finally got to emerald and then they quit and you're back to coach, or you sent out 50 invites and everyone said no, and you just let it deflate you. And then you don't want to do those anymore because you're scared. And what you're scared of is feeling disappointed, feeling rejected. Not only do you have to fail your way to success, but you have to feel your way to success. You have to be willing to feel all the feels. Be open to learning from the no's that you get. They're valuable. You can learn so much about your audience and yourself when you study the no's. Was I chatty Cathy? Did I ask way too many questions? Was I too enthusiastic and put a gazillion exclamation points? Did I not let the person talk enough? Did I do all the talking? Don't get lost in your self-doubt when you get the no's. Discomfort and failure are the paths to success. You have to get good at failure. You have to get good at feeling all the feels and managing your mind. Like I said, what do you make it mean? And the better that you are at getting no's and feeling all the feels, the more successful you will be. And that means the more people you will be helping. All right, so no's, number one rule, don't ever take it personally, or you will become exhausted, depleted, and you won't have the energy to move forward, and you'll just give up, or you'll shrink. You'll make yourself smaller, you'll hide. A no simply means you have the wrong invite or the wrong audience. That's all it means. It does not mean there's something wrong with you. Your worth does not change. You were born as a human in this world. You are worthy. So keep going. Use the no's and the failures as fuel to learn from them and to move you forward, not as an excuse to stop and play small. It simply means there are more ways for you to try. So maybe you need help with your invites. Maybe you need to ask the team or do a training or read a book. Maybe you need to learn how to expand your audience. Just take everything that happens in your business as a try again. So ask yourself every single week, how many no's did I get this week? And be willing to be courageous. It takes like courage to be willing to feel scared and do it anyway. It takes courage to be able to feel rejected or to feel that someone else is having more success than you are and you're putting yourself out there, and it takes courage to keep going. It is easier to hide out, but you have to, if you really want it to happen for you to be really successful and to build your own big team, you have to be willing to stand out from the crowd, be willing to be uncomfortable, and be willing to leave people behind. So I was listening to this podcast and someone said to the podcaster, and I don't remember her name and I didn't write it down, but she said, how do you handle leaving people behind? And she said, I didn't leave people behind. They just didn't come. And I just love that, and I love that I've been in this business 10 years because I can't even tell you how many people I can think at the top of my head, 10 people who didn't come with me when I started this business. And now 10 years later, they're like, I really wish I had listened to what you said. I really wish I had tried. Okay, let's see. So feelings, I'm going to talk about that for just 1 second. And then if there's questions, I'm going to coach you or I don't know what time it is, Rose, but yeah. Well, oh my God, that's the fastest I've ever done. Usually it's maybe having notes gets me on track. Usually I'm like, da, da, da. So what do you do when you, okay, so normally when we feel rejected, okay, we don't like the way it feels. So it's uncomfortable. And as humans, we always want to be seeking pleasure. And that's just in us. And so we might avoid doing something, or like I was saying before, we might eat, or we might watch Netflix, or we might go for a run, or we might do a double workout, whatever, to avoid feeling the uncomfortable feeling because we want it to just go away. We don't like it. So we don't really have the language unless we were brought up with really good parents who taught us how to handle the negative emotions. Like if you think about it, a lot of us grew up like either don't cry, or here, I'll take you out for an ice cream. You had a bad day at school, or someone always trying to make you feel better. And my mother passed away recently, and one of my best friends. So I talked to a few people, and everyone is well-meaning, and I love them dearly. But I think I talked to 2 or 3 friends, and they were just trying to make me feel better. They were trying to make me feel they weren't comfortable with me feeling grief. They weren't comfortable with me feeling sad. And I just wanted to feel sad. And so I called my best friend, and I was crying, and I was like, I'm just having a hard time. I was thinking about my mom, and she cried with me. And she didn't try to fix it. She didn't try to make me feel better. She just allowed me to be sad. And then by just allowing that to happen, I felt better. And I want to use that as an example because when I do my life coaching, this is what I teach people: how to allow a feeling to move through your body. And we're not taught the language. So it's just a matter of, I'm feeling stressed. Okay, I'm going to just sit down for a minute. What does it feel like in my body? I feel really tense. I'm crawling out of my skin. I don't want to sit here. I just want to do something else, anything just to not feel this way. But when we just allow and we breathe into it, take a few deep breaths into it, and you acknowledge it. The first thing we want to do, I know there's a lot of parents on here. Any kid that you're, especially toddlers, if you validate the way that they feel, most likely the tantrum will stop, or it will stop sooner. If you just go to them and say, as parents, we always go, why are you crying? And how can I fix it? Da, da, da. But I took this parenting course that saved my life by Dr. Shefali Tasbury. She wrote The Awakened Family, Conscious Parenting, and I studied with her for 3 years. And what I learned from her is if you just validate their feelings by saying, you're feeling sad, aren't you? And they'll say, yeah, I am. And you just make it part of the normal human experience that there are times when we feel sad. I think that we're all like captivated by our society of, you got to be happy, buy this sweater and it will make you happy, buy this perfume and it will make you happy, get thin so you can get a boyfriend and then you'll be happy, or get a job, make a lot of money, get that house, and then you'll definitely be happy after that. But if any of us have ever gotten to that point, we get there and we realize that the happiness is very short-lived and we're still stuck with ourselves. Nothing has changed inside. But if we can validate the way we feel, yeah, I'm feeling really rejected, and that's okay. I sent out 20 invites and I got 20 no's back. I'm feeling really bad and I'm feeling not good enough, and you just validate your own feelings and the way that you talk to yourself, and that's okay. I know that I can handle this. I know this is the worst thing that's going to happen, and I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to allow it, and I'm going to let it move through my body. And they say on average, a feeling will pass through our body if we allow it in 2 to 3 minutes. But what happens is we don't like the way it feels. So then we get stressed out. We get in a fight with our husband. We yell at our kids. We eat all the chocolate cake. And now we feel shame and guilt. And we compound all the feelings on top of each other. And then we feel worse. And then it's a week before we get back on track. So if anyone, I can walk through anyone with feelings if they want. But I just want to pause here to ask any questions, and I'll read through the chat. So if you don't mind handling that, Rose. Okay, so someone said, actually, anxiety and excitement exhibit the same physical symptoms. They do. I definitely 100% agree with that. But what happens with that feeling, if you feel anxious, your actions are going to be different because all our actions are fueled by how we feel. So if we feel happy, we're going to act differently in the world than if we feel really anxious. Excitement is going to produce, even though it feels the same way in our body, it's going to produce different actions, which will then get us our results. Great, Ashley, Ashley LaFrance, that you signed up someone today after all of that. Awesome, awesome. Jessica, Jessica, I'll help you with your toddler. Yes. Okay. All right. So, great. Oh, hi, Mallory. So does anyone have any specific questions on how to handle your feelings or the entrepreneur equation?
I see
Andrea?
everyone's like, we need toddler training. Oh Lord. But seriously, guys, I know I've been looking like at the participants of who's on the call, and there's a lot of people that haven't been here in a while, and I freaking love it. So if you haven't been here in a while, you're not the only one. But I think this is such an opportune time if you're, holding some feelings in, or you just need to get something off your chest, or like I feel like we have such a great mentor here with Lisa to not kind of lose this opportunity. And it kind of helps all of us to see, because guys, we all feel the same way. I don't care if I've been doing this for 7, 10, 15, 20 years. I still sometimes get, I always get no's, but I sometimes when I get a no, I still feel like, oh, like really? I've been doing this for so long. I should just get yeses at this point, right? No. But we all have that same thought process. We're all like in this together. We all have the same negative feelings that come with no. It's just how quickly we're able to kind of rebound from it and say, hey, Rose, knock that off. So you're not alone. And I'm going to shut up and hopefully someone will ask.
Well, I was going to say that, like, that's another thing is that we're human beings. We're women. We're heart centered. We are loving and kind. That's why we're in this business of helping people. We need a coach. Every coach needs a coach. I have a coach. I've talked Rose off the ledge so many times in the last 7 years. I think just last week, like, just like we need a coach. And so if you don't have that in your sponsor or your upline, you ask for it. You get a success partner or you get someone to work with, because like I was saying before, discomfort is the currency of growth. You need it to be able to get through those times. Oh, Lisa, you're on now. I had a gangster thing for you. Okay, so I'm gonna go. Hi, Lisa. Yeah. There was a question. Okay, so by Ashley, how do I accept and let them pass? Okay, so the first thing is to know that you're feeling a certain way. So I like to use now feelings, and I set a timer on my, I set alarm clocks on my phone for every, I don't know, now I do it 3 times a day, but I used to do it more than that. And it would say, how are you feeling now? Like right now. And so it would go off and I would check in, because we, especially if we have kids and we have other people to take care of, we forget to check in with ourselves. And I say, oh, okay, how am I feeling right now? So that's the first thing to do is, how am I feeling? And then you kind of say, okay, I'm feeling really bummed out, or I'm feeling really sad. And then the next thing to do is to say, then that's okay. Why am I feeling sad? I'm a huge journaler. So you don't have to have a journal. Well, I think everyone should have a journal, but if you don't have a journal and you're not that type of person, have a notepad and answer the question, why? Why am I feeling sad? And then you'll get all your thoughts. I'm thinking this, 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 and this, and all these thoughts are making me feel sad. And it's not, I don't believe in affirmations. I used to when I was following like Esther Hicks and I was doing all this Louise Hay stuff and affirmations. Um, I look at as affirmations as if you have a wound and you just slap a Band-Aid on it when you really needed stitches. To go into the feelings is to really just acknowledge it, validate it, and say, I'm feeling sad and it's okay. And I always imagine like if I had my own inner child right next to me, come sit next to me. Yeah, you're feeling sad. You had a really bad day. And it's all about learning how to talk to yourself that way, as if you would talk to a 4-year-old. And we're not taught that. Most of us are not taught that. And unless we have a really compassionate mother voice or father voice programmed in our head, if we didn't have that, we have to make it for ourselves. And it can be really awkward and a little uncomfortable, but just always imagine as if you're looking at a child. If you don't have a child, a niece or a nephew or someone in your neighborhood, just imagine they came to you and said, I'm feeling really sad right now. What would you say to them? Or if your dog got hurt, what would you say? You'd comfort. You know, you would talk nicely. That's how you allow the feelings to process through you, and then they can move on out. And that's how we also don't put them in little boxes that explode later. Because I think we've all done that. Well, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm just going to tuck it away in this little box. And then something happens a few days later and you blow up all over the place and you're like, what the heck just happened? It's because you had all these little boxes inside full of stuffed down emotions. So that's how to allow and process. And I highly recommend working with a coach. I am available. If you look at my Instagram or my Facebook, you would say, she's a Beachbody coach? No way. Because I really have pulled back from that and I really work with just mentoring the team. So I'm always open and willing for a call. And there was another question on here. So, okay, there it is. Da-da-da. Okay, how do you handle showing up for the business when you're going through emotional or personal issues? Yeah, I definitely, you have to just really get super clear about how badly you want it and how important it is to you, and get your priorities straight. And you're able to say, I don't feel great right now. I'm going through something major in my life, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to set this amount of time, and I'm going to do it while I feel sad. I'm going to do it while I feel whatever it's going to be. Like, don't think that you always have to feel happy to be able to do it. If you have the intention of helping someone, that's all that matters. You can still help someone when you're sad. You can still help someone when you're sick. And so I won't go through like this huge long list because I'm gonna watch the time. But oh my God, I got mono the first year of coaching when my daughter was 4. They found a mass on my neck that they thought was cancerous my second year into coaching. Then I got married, a very short marriage that ended up being extremely abusive, and I had to get a restraining order. And then I moved from Massachusetts to Florida, back to Massachusetts. And then I got cancer, and then my mom died. So those are major things, right? And I still did the business. And it's because I wanted to show up for people, and I didn't pretend that I was a certain way. I just showed up as I was. And if it's really to the point where you're not able to function, that's when you need therapy, or you need to hire a life coach to be able to help you. So I've been in my own head since I started working the business. I got strep and COVID. And then my aunt passed. Yeah, kind of basically what I just said. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy, but you will move through, like I've been able to move through the grief with my mom passing by just allowing it to happen. Like, okay, I'm going to set aside an hour and I'm going to cry until that's done. And I'm going to allow it to happen, move it, and then I just get right back up and go do some work for an hour. And so you kind of just have to say, what am I willing to do? Rose, do you have any tips for that?
What, for showing up when your life sucks?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm going through it. I mean, today I think I reached out to Lisa and going through some medical stuff, and it's just like, how could I coach somebody when my own shit's like falling apart here? Um, I have to do it. Like, for me, there's no excuse. I can't disappoint all of you because something's going on with me, because Ashley has something going on. Jenny has something going on. Bridget has something going on. Kayla has, like, we all have our thing that's going on. Um, I just I can't disappoint other people. And that's why
Yeah.
the support and accountability of a team, like that has has kept me in this game for so long. I might be disappointing myself, but I can't disappoint you. I can't disappoint Dave. I can't disappoint Parker. And I think that's almost like the huge leverage that I use.
Yeah, and I think that if that doesn't work for someone, that will work for half of you and that won't work for the other half, and you just have to find what works for you. Like, and that might be, I love myself so much that I'm going to do therapy. I love myself so much, I'm going to find myself a coach. I'm going to find myself someone to talk to, and I'm going to make my self-care a top priority so I can get back to helping other people. Or I'm going to, maybe I'm not going to avoid my business completely, but maybe I'm going to compassionately decide on my hours. And maybe before I was doing 4 hours a day, and during this time, I'm going to do two, and cut it in half and just say, I'm going to dedicate to doing the work on myself to get myself to a better place. But I think, the most important thing is to validate how you're feeling, to allow for the feelings, to move them out as quickly as possible. And I would think, I think during all the years that I was a coach with all those things, I think that when my ex-husband was stalking me and I had to get and threatening me and I had to get a restraining order, was the hardest time for me to keep up the business at the same time. But I just had to look at my daughter. Like, I had to look at my why. That's why you have to have a really super strong why. And in life coaching, we call it a compelling reason. Your reason has to be so compelling that you would do it no matter what. You would do it even if you're scared, even if you're sad, even if you're grieving. And then you just find what works for you. I'm just reading through. Jenna, like, you just really have to be able to, I don't know if anyone can read the chat box, but you just have to be able, if you're struggling about your career path and your gut is telling you this is what you want to do, but you can't do it full time financially yet. I didn't get rid of my business for 6 years, no, 5 years into it. I did it as a side gig and I did it part time. So each person has to make that. I didn't want to get rid of my other job until I was matching the income and a little bit above. You have to make that decision for yourself. Hey, Carol. So I've experienced rough times in the business, saved me because it gave me the chance to focus on others and offset the bad with the thrill of helping others. Yeah, and that's just all about your mindset. That's about, this was really hard advice that I got one year. It was from I was at a Kabbalah, if you guys know Kabbalah. I was at a Kabbalah retreat actually in New York City. And I was talking about kind of like I got this going on and I got this going on. This was before Beachbody. And the guy, the leader guy said to me, he goes, all that is really selfish. And I was like, blew me out of the water at the time. I was like in my 20s. I was like, what do you mean selfish? And he's like, you're just thinking about yourself. You're just thinking about how everything is bad for you. And you're not thinking about other people. And if you start thinking about other people and how you can help them, that will pull you out of the selfishness of wallowing in what you have going on. And that really helped me. That was the first time that I was really introduced to the victim mentality and started to really explore that. And I realized he was right. You know, I was just really just feeling sorry for myself. And I'm not saying that anyone on this call is feeling sorry for themselves, but if you think of it that way, okay, I'm not going to focus all on myself right now. I'm just going to take the focus away and help other people. You really do start to feel better for sure. Okay, I think that's the end of the questions. Oh, one more popped in. Yes, grace. Yeah, grace is really, I love what you just wrote, Mallory. Yeah, it's definitely a process to learn to give yourself grace. And that's that validation. I'm feeling this way, and that's okay. I'm human. You know, I'm not supposed to be happy all the time. I think the happiness, chasing happiness thing has really, I almost really swore, really has messed us up in our society. That we're supposed to be happy all the time. We're not. That's not how we're made. We're humans, and it's all about both. It's 50% negative, 50% positive. And when you can get okay with the negative, that's when you'll see the most change in your life. And being okay with not being happy all the time. Hey guys, thanks for spending this hour with me. I'm so happy to see all your beautiful faces. And if you have any questions or anything, let me know, and you can send me a message.
Thank
I
you.
do answer them.
Everyone, let's do a wave for Boomerang, and I'll
Tell me
send
when.
the team page. Got it. Mhm. Thanks, Lisa. I'll put the recording. I'll try and do it tonight.
Okay, bye guys.
Good night.
Thank you so much.